Welcome. In this example, we'll write a program to control a garage door. Pressing the open push button should cause the door to raise until it hits the up limit switch. Pressing the close push button should cause the door to lower until it hits the down limit switch. Pressing the stop push button at any time should cause the door to stop. Let's begin by selecting the garage door from the Scene tab and take note of the I/O. We have two normally open push buttons, open and close. One normally closed push button, stop, and two normally open limit switches, up and down. We also have two outputs which represent the motor contactor, forward, to raise the door, and reverse to lower the door. Let's begin writing the logic. On the first rung, we will add the stop push button so we can stop motion at any time. Since the stop push button is wired normally closed, we will use a normally open XIC for this instruction. This instruction evaluates true as long as the stop push button is not pressed. When do we want the door to open? This should happen when the open push button is pressed. Once pressed, we want the door to continue opening after the open push button has been released. In order to achieve this, we'll need memory logic for the open push button. We'll create a branch and add a normally open instruction for open to the first branch rung, and a normally open instruction for the forward contactor to the second branch rung. This should suffice to get the door opening. Let's test this by putting the PLC in run mode and clicking the open push button. Looks like it works. Let's try stopping the door by pressing the stop push button. The stop push button works as expected. Put the PLC into program mode to make changes. When else do we want the door to stop opening? When it hits the up limit switch. Since the up limit switch is wired normally open, let's add a normally closed XIO instruction to the rung to prevent over travel. Put the PLC into run mode once again and ensure the door stops when it hits the up limit switch. Perfect. The door stopped as expected. Let's replicate this logic for closing the door. We'll add a new rung with a normally open instruction for the stop push button. Add a branch with a normally open instruction for close on the first branch rung and a normally open instruction for the reverse contactor on the second branch rung. We'll also add a normally closed instruction for the down limit switch to stop the door. At this point, it is a good idea to add interlocking in our program to ensure that both contactors cannot energize at the same time. We'll add a normally closed instruction to each rung with the opposite output address. Finally, let's test the program by putting the PLC in run mode. Pressing open should raise the door until it hits the up limit switch. Pressing close should lower the door until it hits the down limit switch. Pressing stop should stop the door at any time. Our program works as expected. I hope this video was helpful. A link to the project is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Good luck, and thanks for watching.